And we are back with another week of Midweek Geek. We are here. It is Wednesday, 7 o'clock. And
that opening bumper, man. Oh, it's just
you like
I'm
that?
feeling it.
That's what I was missing last week when we did this.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that's great. There's a bunch of pictures, but I was like, crap, I forgot the music. And this week it was like, got the music
No,
on.
man, that's like that. Like that. I was feeling it.
I wanted a different feel for us for this show particular. Even with the background, I've changed up the background and didn't want to. We are brought to you by, for those of you guys that are watching or listening to us, we are brought to you by the Geek Saga, which this week was the first week that the Geek Saga went live on Comic-Con Radio. So that is actually a really cool thing to have, is to be able to say that our other show is on Comic-Con Radio as of right now. We've got 3 episodes up. We're going to actually be getting even more episodes going. So if you guys are interested on checking that out, oh my God, look at who's in the house. Buckaroo is in the house. Welcome. Lupe, it is great to see you on this show with us. I'm glad we were able to draw you into this one. But yeah. So, like I said, the Geek Saga is finally up on Comic-Con Radio. You can listen to us, and that'll be with me and my other co-hosts, which is David Preciado, 2 salty veterans, talking about all things geek, talking about movies, talking about everything. We kind of do that here, but it's not the same format because this is just what's going on this week.
That's right.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about other things, and hopefully we can get some guests onto this show. But as far as everything else is, it's what's going on this week, what's going on in the geek industry, maybe a couple things, maybe a little bit further down the line we'll talk about, but it's strictly what's going on. So I am your host after that long introduction. I'm your host, Eugene, with my lovely co-host with his glasses on today, Dennis right there.
Hey.
I dragged him along with me from our other show that we do, which is Behind the Mask.
That's
and
right.
that is all paintball all the time. So, but we are also 2 huge geeks, so that's why he fits in perfect with the Geek Saga family, along with the Behind the Mask family. So
that's right.
And also, I mean, on this show, we're actually a little bit more happier when we talk because.
Well, yeah, it's like we said before. This one we don't get fired up and angry over what's going on, and so yeah, it's much more easygoing.
Yeah, and we dragged along our other buddy from the other show who loves to comment on us, which is Lupe. Welcome, Lupe. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't have my. Wait. I am starting to become more. What do you call it?
Professional.
I could say professional. I do have everything a little bit more set up. As you guys can see, the background is now up, really going. I've actually got some soundproofing in here, so it's not as echoey, and I've not done putting soundproof inside of my little studio, but I'm pretty close to it. I mean, I've got like these, what do you call it, type of moving blankets that actually block the sound to cut it down. So I'm becoming professional here. Better watch out, Holmes. Let's see. I do have that clapping sound. Where do you go? Oh, there it is. It's under human elements of all things. But I got a lot of sounds too. Where'd it go? See, and the other thing with this show is we can kind of take our time and just chill and be more relaxed. And
well, yeah, it's like, I mean, we're not getting fired up and anxious over everything that's going on.
I think this is it.
Yeah.
Let's see if this is the right sound.
That's like, oh, see, that's good. It's like a golf clap. I like that.
There, yeah. I didn't see the rest of the the sound, but
I like that. It's like a golf clap. It's good because it's ironic and snarky, and that fits in with kind of the whole point of us doing this show.
Yeah. All right. I thought that was going to be the one. Woo! And it's the golf. There you go. So, normally on our other show, this is about the time where we would actually talk about our sponsors, and this is not sponsored by anybody right now.
Yeah.
So, I know you guys see in the background, you see like W. W is actually for our other show, which is for the Behind the Mask. But if you want to try it, by all means, go on www.w.gg. They have 7 flavors and different things. So I'm not going to get too deep into it because they're not a sponsor of the show. But I do, if you guys notice in the back, there's that hat right there is from our buddies over at Distant Nerding. Distance Nerding is also part of the Comic-Con family, which awesome dudes, love talking to them, love going on to their show, making comments and stuff. So check them out. You can check them out on Comic-Con Radio also. But yeah, Lupe, I'm glad you're on here. Now we're going to talk nerd.
Cool. That's right. Now we can really we can do like the colon talk and
we can dive deep into all kinds of stuff tonight.
That's right.
But
that's right.
The other thing is also that Lupe did make a comment about a game he was playing last week, and we're actually going to talk about that this week.
Yep.
So I'm really excited about that. So it was a shock to hear that you play video games, Lupe.
Well, remember he originally started watching us on Twitch, so
that's true. But I still thought that like Connect 4 was the or the cup thing, the ball and the string.
Wow.
All right. I'll be nice for a little bit. But we are going to get into our first segment, which is this week in movies, and this is where we're going to be talking about like what happened playing. Oh, look at it, he's multitasking.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, but with this segment, what we do is we're going to be talking about what happened this past weekend and what's coming up this weekend as far as the box office is and what's opening.
1970.
Oh, hey, that's the year I was born. Okay, easy there. 1978 was a great year. 77 was a better year.
Because, right. That's when I was born.
But that's when we got the introduction to Star Wars. So
that's true. That's true.
That is the greatest one. But let's roll this out with this. All right, there was a clapping sound that I was looking for. Didn't quite have it. But let's go into movies this week. Released on February 10th, which was last weekend, because like I said, we're going to talk about what was happening last weekend. Then we're going to roll into what's happening this weekend. Yeah. But we talked last week about Magic Mike and Titanic, the 2 only big movies to come out in theaters that weekend. There was a ton of other indie movies, but who cares about those? I really don't care. But then again, I also didn't care about these movies.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to be completely upfront and honest, neither of these movies held any real appeal for us to, go out and watch. I think everybody has seen enough, Titanic memes and I'm the king of the world, we've all seen enough of it that if you've never actually watched the movie, you've watched the movie.
Yeah. Pretty much. And if you haven't watched the movie, I'm sorry to spoil it for you, but the boat sinks in the end.
The boat sinks. Yeah. So sorry. We it's better that you know. Yeah. So
exactly. And Leo draws
and Jack dies.
Yeah, Jack dies. Yeah. But also, I mean, come on, Magic Mike, Last Dance. We saw the trailer. Did we watch the trailer last week, right?
I don't recall if we watched it last week or not. Actually,
we watched another trailer, but that one when you watch it, and
we watched a knock at the door, knock at the cabin, or whatever.
Knock at the cabin, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't recall if we watched the Magic Mike.
No, we didn't watch Magic Mike because I couldn't put us through it. I just wasn't going to do that. But the fact is that I got flack today because being told, how are you going to review a movie that you didn't watch? Well, I really don't need to watch this movie. I have no
Yeah,
desire.
yeah,
I've seen enough of these dance movie trailers to put together this movie because we've seen the trailer for way back in the day when Channing Tatum first made his jump
yep.
onto a, what was it
Yeah.
called?
When you
Step up?
step up, yeah,
Step up. We saw him dance then. And then, we've seen all the trailers for the Magic Mike movies that lead up to this. I think we've seen enough of him dancing.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, so
I,
I
I
didn't
will
need to
say
watch.
I will say this much though. I mean, the dude doesn't take himself very seriously. He's got a really good sense of humor about it all. Um, and surprisingly enough, he's actually got really good like comedic timing. He's funny.
Yeah, he is.
And so I will give him credit. Like I say, I mean, he does not take himself seriously. He knows, this is a huge meme thing, and he's a very good sport about it. So
Yeah, I mean, I loved him in in his small role in This Is the End.
yes, yes, and let us not forget he was, I mean, GI Joe.
Yeah, he was Duke. All right, I'll give him that. He was Duke, and then he actually asked to be killed off in the second movie. Why?
Oh,
I
he
don't know.
asked for
But
that, really?
yeah, he asked for that.
Hmm.
So,
I'm kind of surprised now. I would do everything I could to stick with that franchise, provided they kept the Baroness. That I'm sorry, she was a smoke show. Wow.
yeah, but the movie just detracted me from everything. I was just
Don't
like, this
don't
movie is
care.
so bad. I was
Don't
like,
care.
I
Don't.
couldn't. I couldn't. I just couldn't. I really couldn't. I was like, no, no, I'm out. And I love GI Joes. I had all the collection. I had every version of Duke, and they just no
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
Yeah. No. I mean, let's face it. That casting and costume design and everything for the Baroness. I know we're going off topic here because this
Oh
movie
no, it's
obviously did not come out, but
Lupe agrees with you. She was. I
I
know.
mean, they
I
got
know.
the perfect actress for it. They did her costume just right, and I mean, if you were anywhere between the age of, like, I'd say 8 to preteen, early teens. I'm sorry, but you fantasized about the Baroness, whether it was the cartoon or the action figure. You looked at that and you went, mm-hmm. Snake Eyes Storm Shadow movie was all I needed from that mess. Yeah, I mean, exactly. That's
I,
literally all they needed to do was introduce those characters,
but see,
and
I couldn't even do the Snake Eyes movie. Like I watched the Snake Eyes movie, but it was just
I
so.
actually didn't mind it. I thought it was okay.
I was like, I guess I'm too critical. Yeah, and I am critical, but
Oh yeah,
Lupe fits right in, right here on this one.
this is perfect.
But so, with that being said, we want to look at those box offices. Obviously, look at Magic Mike domestically made 10,000 over the whole. I mean, 9 million over the whole weekend.
Yeah,
Worldwide, only 19 million.
yeah.
So I don't know what it took to make, but they may have just recouped their money. But it still isn't going to go any further than that. I mean,
Oh, I'll be completely honest. They've probably already turned a profit. A movie like that, they probably.
oh,
I mean, they probably made it for what? Let's say 6.
maybe that,
You
maybe
know,
6. But
um,
and I messed up on my numbers for Titanic. I forgot to change that number for the worldwide. But here's the sad thing: a movie that's 25 years old was not too far behind in the box offices.
yeah, yeah,
A movie that just came out.
yeah. Although
That.
I mean, so and this is asking legitimately because again, didn't go see it, didn't really have an interest in seeing it. But I mean, what were people expecting? Were they expecting like it to be better resolution? Like, did they remaster it into 4K? Like, what was the draw to go to see it again, aside from the fact that it's the 25th anniversary of the movie?
That's a good question. You know what? Let me look that up because I want to know. I should have looked into it more today, but what was done to Titanic for the what was this, the 25th or third? What was it, 25th? Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think it's 25th.
So it was, why is it so popular? Because a bunch of chicks like it. Um, let's see. 15 weeks. So okay, when it first came out, obviously it was a huge thing. I mean, shoot,
Oh, I think it was one of the highest grossing movies of all
oh,
time.
it was up there. I think it literally trumped Star Wars. But then some people were like, "Well, it's because the box offices were the price of tickets were much more
Price of tickets
expensive."
was
So,
different then. Yeah, yeah,
but when they did when they added up inflation to Star Wars, it was like Titanic didn't trump it as much as people were saying. It
yeah,
was actually a lot closer,
yeah,
but it still beat Star Wars. But it spent 15 weeks on the top of the box offices and won 11 Oscars.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I mean, this thing was, it obviously, again, it was huge. I had back in the day, I was dating a girl that saw it like 3 times. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
so
it was a juggernaut of a movie. I mean, there's no
yeah,
denying that, obviously.
but this time around, the movie will be, oh, it was shown in 3D.
This
So
time?
yeah, it said it was shown
Oh,
in 3D.
okay.
So for those of you guys that didn't get enough of what's her face naked, and now
Kate
is,
Winslet, yeah.
yeah, Kate Winslet, now she's gonna be popping out at you in this version,
Which,
and that's pretty much all they did.
depending on your taste, that's not such a bad thing because she was a little thicker then. She had a little bit more meat on her bones, and that wasn't such a
Yes,
bad thing. So
it wasn't, but that's pretty much all you're paying for is that
yeah,
it's now in 3D.
yeah,
But like I said, look at the difference in box office. It wasn't even 2 million. It was like just barely under 2 million difference.
yeah,
And
yeah.
worldwide, I think the number was like, I think it was still a 2 million difference worldwide. So it's like, but this is where what sucks about what's been going on as far as in the movies, and that's why I thought this segment is kind of cool to have up so we can be all like, yeah, look at how bad the box offices are, and look at how bad the movies that are coming out. Because, and I'm a little bit, the next portion that we're going to do is what's going to be coming out this weekend, which is Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania.
Quantumania. Not I'm still fully on board with the
Really?
MCU right now. I know a lot of people are getting really sick of the direction that they're going in with some of the movies. Obviously, they're going to be showcasing like the next set of heroes that we saw in, the Iron Man movies, Thor, the Avengers films and stuff like that. Now that they've moved away from, they've eliminated Chris Rogers or Chris
Steve
Evans
Rogers.
as Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris Rogers. The hell. It's been a long day. So I mean, we're moving away from the Steve Rogers Captain America. I still haven't heard whether it's confirmed if they're going to do Falcon as Cap in the movies like they did with Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
As in the
Which, by
show.
the way, I thought I liked it. I thought Falcon and the Winter Soldier was great. I did. I liked it. But again, I'm coming to it with the point of view of being a fan of these comics as a kid, and I'm trying not to be jaded and cynical about it.
See, that's
The
I'm
same thing, but for me, it was the same thing with Star Wars. Like the sequel trilogy, I went into it with the mindset of awesome, it's Star Wars, and I am a Star Wars fan. And I tried not to, be oh man, this is not like the New Hope. This is killed my childhood. I was
those are my exact words. Killed my childhood. Those were. You know what? I don't like, and even Lupus saying here it's getting some pretty bad reviews so far. That's not a good thing to hear. Before,
No, it's not, especially because it has not been released,
yeah,
to the audience at large.
and the bad thing is that I really like the Ant-Man movies. Like I loved the first one. It
Yeah,
was hilarious. They picked a great guy to play Scott Lang, and then of course we got Michael Pena in there, which the dude's hilarious.
he really is.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god, he is
they
so
play off
funny.
each other so well.
Oh yeah, they do. And that's why it's like, man, I love these movies, but now that I'm seeing this and I'm not on board with the MCU now as far as with all this new stuff that's coming out, which it's sad because I really like the MCU. I loved all the movies. Well, not so much. I didn't love Marvel, Captain Marvel. I thought that was garbage. But that's my opinion.
Yeah.
But that opinion was like spread amongst a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing that I think a lot of people are having a hard time with, and this is kind of my speculation on it, is they're bringing in Kang, who we got introduced to during the Loki series
Mm-hmm.
on yeah, and see, there it is right there. Lupe brought it up. It's the Disney curse is starting to hit the MCU. Um, and again, I think that's where some of the problem is.
Yeah.
We're not a lot of people. I mean, Loki was well received, but I think it was because of the fact that it was Tom Hiddleston, not because of the storyline and stuff like that. And people had a hard time grasping the whole concept of the alternate timelines, and oh well, they're going back and cutting off these timelines to prevent these alternate things happening, and so I unfortunately I think the movie is suffering from a lot of that. A lot of the people just not really getting the concept. And
I
then
think,
and
well,
then Disney, of course, is you know it's gonna sound bad, and unfortunately, it's probably gonna catch. I'm gonna catch some flack for saying it, but you know, Disney is always been like the go-to. Like it's a very family oriented, and everybody is friends and stuff like that. And I mean, there's a lot of very woke politics in a lot of the things that Disney does now.
I
Whether you like that or not is, that's a choice to be made. But
yeah.
unfortunately, it's causing a lot of people to just shy away from wanting to anything to do with it.
Yeah, and I'm not, see, that's what sucks, is that I'm not looking forward to this next phase of the MCU, which
You know,
it kind of sucks because super excited for phase one. Phase two was really good, and then it started waning, and I'm like, because it's like it's like what Disney did to Star Wars, and now it's kind of like, we got excited with Mandalorian. We got excited for the Book of Boba Fett.
but see, okay, so if I could interject there, so more so the Mandalorian than Book of Boba Fett, because the Book of Boba Fett was, I'll admit that was a little weird and it was a little off. But the
Dude,
Mandalorian, for the most part, they're letting Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau just like that. They're letting them take the reins on that, and
which is
so
good.
oh yeah, absolutely, because what we got in the Mandalorian was so well received and it was so good. I mean, And initially, I didn't like. I'll admit, I did not like Dave Filoni when he was like kind of the up and coming guy for the Clone Wars. It seemed like he was doing too much, and it was supposed to be, kind of packed in this very short period of time, because the Clone Wars was not something that was long and drawn out.
Yeah.
Within the timeline of the Star Wars universe, it was not something that was, took decades to start and end. We're talking about literally the span of maybe 4 years, 5 years, within the Star Wars timeline. It's a very short period of time.
Yeah. But really quick, Lupe brought up a really good point right now. Same as Star Wars. Too much content now. To get back to just the MCU.
Yeah.
Before we go down a rabbit hole that we're like, we can go down a rabbit hole another time.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
What
you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. And as far as with this Ant-Man and the Wasp, I guess we're gonna have to just kind of sit back and just see what happens this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna try and make time to see it. I am going to, because again,
I'm on the fence.
I don't want to be that cynical. I don't want to be that cynical old guy.
Well, we've got 3 viewers, which, holy crap! Besides Lupe, there's 2 other people. Awesome. Let me know, you guys, or let us know. What do you guys think, really quick? Are you guys going to go see Ant-Man and Wasp this weekend, or can you wait to see it, say, when it finally hits Disney Plus, because it'll probably be out in 3. Yeah. It'll be out in 3 weeks. That's how it's been lately. It hasn't been like how way back in the day when we'd wait for it to come out on like HBO or something, and it took like 6 months.
Yeah.
So, but Dennis, you said that you're not going to be that cynical guy. I'm probably going to be, because I'm like, seriously, I don't know if I want to give them my money. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm going to try to go see it. Obviously, the thing that is going to stop me is just whether I'm going to have the time and money to do it. I work a lot and I don't get paid a lot, so.
Lupe said Disney Plus theaters are dead
to me. Yeah. See, that's going to be the other thing that's going to hinder me from going to go see it. I mean, movie theaters just don't have the same charm that they used to when you would go to a movie. It's just not quite the same. It's just not the same. And I will say this much. I do think that the pandemic is part of what killed movie theaters. And I remember last week we were talking about how a lot of that, I mean, they went to the streaming platform because they could continue to put out product and not have to worry about, people can't be in a public place, close quarters and stuff like that. We're still able to do our jobs.
Yeah.
But it turned out to be so successful that it made the movie theater irrelevant. And now the only reason to go to the theater is if it's like you're going to the Hollywood premiere at like the El Capitan or something.
Yeah. But really quick, we're going to close this out, and we keep talking about theaters because I do have something to say. But this, guys, has been movies this week. And if you guys go and check out Ant-Man and the Wasp, by all means, send us a message saying, yeah, you saw it, what you guys thought. And we'll bring it up next week, because we will be talking about this movie next week, about how it did in the box office. So, with that, yes. So, Lupe says,
yeah, and Lupe makes a great point. You can go play paintball for less than 2 tickets to a movie. That's absolutely true. I mean, field entry and all day air is about the same cost, and you're not locked into having to stay. Well, I mean, you don't have to stay at a movie for 2 hours, but you're not, you don't feel obligated to stay.
Well, I mean, to be honest, and I'm probably going to get flack for this later, but last week when I went to go see Knock at the Cabin, which, seriously, guys, don't bother. You guys can wait till it's free on Tubi or one of those other streaming platforms that's free, because don't give them your money. But the amount of money that I spent to go see the movie 2 tickets, which were like 16, 17 something a piece. So that's already like $35.
Yep.
Like roughly about $35. Then we ate there. And I'm not talking about just popcorn and a drink. We actually went to one of those AMC's where we could literally, sit back
You
and
could
relax.
order the food, yeah.
And we bought food there because it's like, well, why go spend money at a restaurant and then come in here and still buy another soda if we just might as well eat in the restaurant, eat
Right.
there at the place. So when it was said and done, I think I spent enough for 2 entries and 2 cases of paint to go play paintball.
Yeah.
So, and could have played all day instead of watched a knock at my freaking dong or something like that. Oh, it was horrible, so bad. I should have went and taken that dump during. I probably would have had more fun.
So the takeaway here, kids, is go play paintball.
Yeah, go play paintball. No, like with movie theaters, I wish I would have seen the Maverick in the movie theater because then I get the full cinematic.
Yeah.
For that, I could say yes, I'd go.
Yeah.
But even then, I was still a little on the fence because it was like, really, freaking 101-year-old Maverick's getting into the plane and he's going to be flying and putting his body through more stress than what a 21-year-old can do. I don't know. But hey, that's just my opinion. But it was still a good movie. I loved it. I actually really loved it.
Oh, it's a great movie. Yeah, it was excellent.
Welcome everybody to Midweek Geek, and brought to you by the Geek Saga. I'm Eugene, and I'm only doing this again because now we have 4 people in here. I'm like getting really excited. I really am. Hope you guys like my background. I have all these pops. Actually, I am going to start selling some pops. I don't know if I told you that, Dennis.
No, you didn't.
I have a ton of pops that are ready to go up, and I'm going to start selling some. So
interesting.
And Lupa has to say, as always, age is just a number.
Age is just a number. No, I mean, that is absolutely true.
I don't know, because you're talking about.
But, hey, that being said, you do have to give credit where credit is due. Tom Cruise does all his own stunts. That dude like shattered all the bones in one of his feet while he was filming the last
Mission
Impossible.
I know.
I mean, that's insane. And you actually see they left the shot where he broke his foot. They left it in the movie. You see it happen.
He broke it and he got up and he kept on running.
Yeah.
So I'm not taking anything away from Tom Cruise because that dude, I think, is him and Kevin Bacon.
Not bad for a Scientologist witchcraft, you know.
I think that's what it is. Freaking Scientology, man. But
meet me up in your spaceship.
All right. So that was movies for this weekend. We are now moving into our next segment, which is going to be a video game, or it's called Video Game Review. I know it's really basic, but Video Game Review. Ready Player One. You like that? Look at that. That's kind of cool, huh?
That's nice. I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah. All right. So first we are talking about something that Dennis loves. This is one of his all-time favorite games. Destiny 2. I'll be honest, I played Destiny 1. I haven't gotten into 2. I played it for a while and then I kind of stopped playing it. I know it's kind of bad, but the latest updates dropped. It was recently that they all dropped, which I think it was February 13th.
Right? No, they have not dropped yet.
They haven't dropped?
Not yet.
That article was a lie.
No. It's the article outlining the next DLC that is coming, which is called Lightfall.
Yeah.
The article was outlining the changes that they are bringing to the game, and there's some big ones that are going to be happening with the initial season of the newest DLC again.
Yeah, which I only put a few up on here, which for those of you that are watching can see that I put up only about 6. Right now you're seeing 3. I have 3 more to show, but it says Season of Defiance attached to Lightfall.
Yeah.
We'll do away with umbrals and
Umbrals and umbral energy. So
yes.
within the game, just playing it, literally doing various activities like running strikes, playing PvP, things like that, you can earn what are called umbral engrams. And essentially what they are is they're kind of like they're loot drops, but they're randomized, so you don't know what you're going to get from these umbral engrams. Well, the whole point of them prior to this upcoming season was you could earn umbral energy, which was a specific type of currency that you could use to decrypt these things into a specific piece of equipment. For example, there was 4 or 5 guns that were available that were part of that season, and armor pieces that were tailored for that season. And as you progress through the season, you would unlock the ability to decrypt these umbral engrams into a specific gun that you really wanted to try and get. The reason for that is because all of the perks that are on these various guns are randomized. So you could get certain, in each column, there's 2 perks that equate to a different type of barrel. Maybe that gives you a little bit more range or better stability, what have you. And then there's like a magazine perk, which one perk allows you to reload faster on an empty magazine, or every time you get a kill, if you reload, you get a short burst of damage, increase in damage every time you reload, things like that. And so people would kind of hoard these engrams and then decrypt them, looking for that god roll, something that is just the perfect setup for PvP or PvE or what have you. But it
So
was
just really quick.
What? Sorry.
Half my brain just dropped. I'm like, I don't even know what
It's very hard to describe. It's very hard to describe if you have not played the game.
Yeah, I get that too. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying not to, but as I'm sitting here, I'm also hearing that one sound that we have for that other show that we do, and I'm like, oh my god, where is he? You know which sound it is, Dennis? Oh, I don't have it anymore.
The 1,000-yard stare with the bombs blowing up in the background, or is it the crickets?
No, it would never be the crickets, because I would never do that to somebody. But oh my god, I can't believe I can't find it now. No, go on, carry
on. But yeah, so they're actually going to be doing away with the umbrals and umbral engrams. You're still going to be able to earn these engrams, but they won't be in your inventory. So, less clutter there, because you can only hold so many of these at a time. So instead, they're going to be at the various vendors. Yeah, I saw that. They're going to be they're going to actually be stored at the various vendors. So you have a specific NPC that you go to for PvP, a specific NPC you go to for your strikes and things like that. And you'll be able to pick those up from that character and decrypt them at that time and focus the gear straight from that person. And instead of having to earn a seasonal currency, you just use it with the standard currency that's used throughout the game, which is called Glimmer. So it kind of streamlines it a little bit. And I think what they're trying to do is just take some of the grind away, which, I mean, that's up to the individual player as to whether or not they even like grinding. Some people have no problem doing the same 4 strikes over and over again in hopes of getting a drop that they're really, really looking for. And then some people are just like, you know what? I did my 3 strikes. I got my powerful engram, which is something that decrypts at a higher power. But at any rate, Gene trolling me. So I think they're just trying to kind of streamline it, make it a little bit more, appealing to the average player. They're worthless to a point. As I was saying before, I mean, if you're really going for that god roll submachine gun or something like that, then it's not worthless. But for the majority of the players, yeah, they take up space, and they never decrypt at a power level to where it does you any good in terms of progressing in the game and stuff like that. So
Well,
there's that.
so
Yeah.
another thing. Wait, what does Phil have to say after you go into pinnacles? They're trash.
They're trash. Exactly. And that's what I was saying, is like some
Armor.
people are done once they get their pinnacle drop and it's at the highest power level that they can get. It's worthless. But like I say, I mean, there are some of the Destiny diehards who they don't mind doing that same thing over and over and over again in hopes that god roll is going to drop in their lap. They're also doing away with seasonal currencies to open up chests at end of activities. So that applies more to specific activities that they have for each season. They'll have something that ties into the storyline, where you earn a special currency that you can then open a chest that gives you more opportunities at getting loot. You don't have to do that single thing to now get these special keys that you're going to get. They're just going to drop as you play, that will allow you to open those chests. You don't necessarily have to accumulate a certain amount before you can open it. It says that here's the part that I have a problem with. It says that there will be more baseline rewards from normal completions, and the bonus chests will feel like a true bonus. But as we saw with that previous statement, once you get your pinnacle drops out of the way for the week, those bonuses are not really going to be. Oh, he's a carry master. That's one of the heads of my clan. He's our PvP carry.
So this has now been the Destiny Hour. If you'd like to continue with us, I'm going to sit back and listen to you guys. I'm sorry.
No, right. It's fine. It's fine.
I know this is a huge thing for you guys. I wish I would have gotten, and I might actually get into Destiny again.
I mean, you really could. There are still plenty of opportunities for people who are what are called new lights. So essentially, people who are new to the game, have never played it before. They do have a way for you to kind of catch up on this. You get enough of the backstory that you can figure out exactly what's going on, and you don't feel too lost. But it's a lot. It is a lot.
It is. I mean, just within the first two things that you talked about, I'm like, I thought it was gonna be like, oh yeah, this is what's gonna be happening. And it's like, really?
Yeah. I mean, what do you put up on the screen there? That's not even everything that they outlined of the changes that are coming to the game.
There's like these 6 more or 3 more right here, which this is still a part of what was brought up as far as the newsletter that came out, which I sent over to you. And even that article even broke it down to just highlights of it. And I think there was a total of 15 highlights.
Something like that. Yeah.
So I just put up the few that I thought, oh, okay, we're just going to go through. Holy crap. I didn't know that there was so much just in those few things.
Yeah. And I mean, some of the stuff that they're going to talk about, obviously, is some of the stuff is going to be kind of like behind the scenes. It will like sandbox changes. They're going to be balancing weapons and things like that. It is. It's just as big as WoW. And I am actually going to answer your previous question about the cinematic in just a sec here. No, I mean, the lore behind it is unbelievable. For anybody watching, if you haven't already, go check out a YouTuber he's called My Name is Byf. BYF. My Name is Byf. He has become the foremost lore master of the Destiny universe, and he not only makes incredible videos, he puts so much time and effort into them. But he's awesome to listen to because he's English, and he's got kind of this deep baritone English voice, and he's just like, you listen to him and you feel yourself getting involved in what he's saying, but you don't feel like you're having to focus on it. But yeah, do yourselves a favor. If you really want to learn the lore of Destiny, check out My Name is Byf.
And And to answer Phil's question earlier, also, if I wanted him to join, if I had you join, then they would become the Destiny Hour.
Well,
But
and it
actually,
would
Phil,
be
I
very
do
easy
want
to
you to.
do that.
I would love to have you come on the show. If we'll set it up definitely because
Yeah.
I was on your show. You got to come on my show or our show, and we'll talk video games and a lot more other stuff. Okay, wait.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely true. The Grimoire in Destiny 1, it sucked that yeah. I mean, you had to go outside of the game to look it up, but it was absolutely worth it because it not only framed the world building for the first game, but you already had kind of a idea of where it was going to go as soon as you found out, like during the Red War, and the actions behind what the big bad at that for that. I can't even say the season because seasons hadn't started in at that part of Destiny 2. But yeah, I mean the world building itself that Bungie came up with, their writers, unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, this though has I can't talk, but as long as this game has been around, it's always had nothing but good things being said about it, and they
That's
continue.
not entirely true.
Well, okay,
The
they've
community is
kept it
very
around,
split.
but they've kept it around for so long and kept building on it and kept changing things, and it's like obviously there's something to the game.
Well,
So
yeah, absolutely. And the thing is when back when Destiny 1 was first announced, Bungie had said, we have a 10-year plan for this game. And at first, everybody thought, wait a minute, you're just going to keep pumping out content for one game over 10 years? Or does that mean you're going to make a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and so on? And initially, I think they wanted to lean more into just continuing to do like a games as service, which still is kind of the model. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's been almost 10 years. We're coming up on 10 years very soon. And it's Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. And Bungie has basically said Destiny 2 is really going to be the last game for Destiny. We're just going to continue to build onto it. We're going to continue to add, more content to it. But that's where some of the community split came in because they did what was called sunsetting, and they came up with the content vault. Activision screwed it up. Yeah. I mean, that's true, but the problem is that we went through a lot of bouts of content drought after Activision left. I mean, not that it wasn't there before, but yeah, I mean, Bungie has said, they're just going to continue to build on to Destiny 2, but they came up with the Destiny content vault. And what they did was they took portions of the game that people really weren't playing anymore. It's, content from the beginning of the game. And so people just were not as involved, and they took it out to be brought back in small portions here and there, at a later date. And so that's what they've slowly done. They took some parts out, brought it back in as part of a storyline and stuff like that. Yeah, Forsaken was Destiny 2's Taken King, hands down. Taken King was Destiny 1's biggest DLC, and that at that point, everybody had said Destiny 1 was in its best form, was Taken King. And Forsaken did that for Destiny 2. I will wholeheartedly agree with that. I didn't have a big problem with the Witch Queen, which was the last DLC that came out. I felt like it actually built off of Forsaken in a very good way, outside of losing a lot of that stuff. They took some of the guns out of the game that people really enjoyed. They took some of the locations and activities out of the game that people were enjoying. Yeah, so Kingsfall. So Kingsfall was the raid that came with the Taken King back in Destiny 1, and Kingsfall, hands down, the best raid in Destiny 1. I know a lot of people are going to argue with me and say that the very first one, which was the Vault of Glass, was the best. Well, it was the first one, so of course everybody's first raid experience was Vault of Glass. Yeah, it was so much easier. It was so much easier in Destiny 2. Destiny 1, it was far worse. It was far worse, especially if you were terrible at jumping puzzles. That the tomb ships was bad. Um, but yeah, as Phil said, we got the very last raid from Destiny 1. They brought it back for Destiny 2 as kind of like a fan service thing, and you know what? I didn't mind the Crota raid. Yes, it was short, and I'd be hard pressed to find somebody who didn't cheese him in some way, whether it was whether it was your party leader pulling their landline, or doing the Crota armor. Oh my god, are you kidding me? That armor was so good, so nice. I loved it. I loved it. Um, yeah, Crota. If they bring Crota back, I would hope that they would refine it somewhat and put the noob in the back and shoot the wall. Exactly. Exactly. See, Phil knows, man. He's an OG. He's an OG.
Well, as much as I loved the Destiny talk, we're gonna move on.
Yeah, there's I still got one other thing that I'm gonna talk about. So
I feel like I've now moderated a great Destiny 2 updates panel. That was Dennis and young Phil from Distance Nerding, and it was great. Thank you guys.
and I was pleasantly surprised to see Lupe actually said that he's a guardian himself, so he's going to be in playing as well, which is cool.
I'm a Gryffindor, so thank you.
That's the other game.
Yes, we're moving on to that next game, which I need to get. So, Phil, thank you. Moving on to
Hogwarts Warlock Master Race. You know what? For the longest time, I was a Hunter main, and then I moved on, and I was running all three classes, and then I started gravitating toward Warlock, and I'm back on being a Hunter main. So, time to hit pause. Because Lupe's playing Hogwarts Legacy right now as we speak.
Yes, he is. And I mean, all this is going to be kind of just a little bit of a. What was that?
What was what?
I heard a little boop.
It might have been something on mine because I was moving something on my desk.
Oh, okay. So this is a game that we kind of talked about last week, but really didn't really talk much about it. But it dropped.
Well, at that point, I hadn't had a chance to play it. I had only played it for like an hour.
Yeah, and I definitely got to get it. I mean, I was thinking about getting it on my Switch because that's much more portable, and I can play it when I'm out there in my wonderful job that I have.
Yeah.
And what does Phil say?
Dead Space. Yeah. That like we were saying last week, man. That remaster is just beautiful, and it's a perfect game to do it for too.
I definitely want to try Dead Space next. I've never played it. I've heard about it, but never played it.
Yeah. So, I mean, the first one when it came out the first time around, yeah, it was groundbreaking in terms of like survival horror games. This remaster is beautiful. I mean, it's so good. It's so good.
But this show is now going to force me to actually start playing more video games because I need to be able to. I need to be able to talk about embryos or whatever it was that you guys were talking about.
Engrams, yes, engrams.
Angry or something. Okay, cool.
Engrams, yes. But on to Hogwarts Legacy. So now that I've had the game for a little over a week,
yes,
and I mean, the way I play a lot of open world games is I go off and I do side quests in the middle of whatever the main storyline quest is, and so I'm finding myself with a little bit more of a broader opinion on the game. So I will say this much. The gameplay itself is a lot of fun. I don't like traversing around on the broom. I think that the controls on the broom suck. But now that I have my hippogriff, I'm happy and I can get around. The way you get to the main quest and you're super OP. And that was the next thing I was going to mention, Phil. Yeah, I'm like, taking on so many, like I can take on 6 or 7 dark wizards and witches, and they rarely ever get a hit in on me. I can mop the floor with almost everybody right now. Um, but
Lucas
so
says
the
he
yeah,
hates his broom.
yeah, I mean the controls on the broom are very wonky. Now I play it, for me it's just natural. I invert my y-axis, so when I push down on my thumbstick it looks up, and I push up and it looks down. To me that's
But
just
that's
natural. I mean, that's how you fly an airplane. That's just how I play. But when you're on the
well, but
broom,
it's also that's
huh?
how we started playing. That's how we started playing back in the days of the early Halo. Halo was inverted.
Was it inverted like on its own?
Yeah, it was inverted on its own. You had to flip
Oh,
it to regular, and that's
oh.
how. That's why now it doesn't matter what I play. I got to
But
go invert.
well, yeah, same here. And my whole Destiny clan gives me crap all the time because they're like, "You play inverted," and I was like, "Yeah, don't you?" And they're like, "No, why would you?" I don't
Because
know.
it's normal.
To me it just feels natural. But yeah, when you're on the broom, like those controls still apply. Like if you push down, you go up. But the thing is it's not that you're going up. It's literally you're going up. You're going straight up and down.
Straight cut. You're not
You're
going
not
like
moving forward and going up.
yeah.
So it's very wonky. And the hit detection on it is very very poor. There's parts of the games where you know there's like broom races and you're trying to go through rings, and it's just I don't like it. Well, that's one thing I will say I'm not a fan of. The other thing that I have noticed, for me personally, it doesn't take a lot away, but I have noticed it, and it kind of makes me laugh. Is the facial models for the characters? When you're talking with them, they become animated. They become, if they look sad. No, it's not like flying a sparrow at all. Not at all. Um,
And we go
we're
back to Destiny.
Yeah, we're back to Destiny. Yeah. um but when you're talking with the NPCs and things like that, if they're happy or sad, they have these, the facial animations are great, but the second the sentence is done, they go back to a blank face, and it's just a split second before it either cuts to your character or the scene ends or whatever. But it's kind of comical, and in this day and age of game production and the quality of the graphics that are available, I mean, this is taking me back to, for anybody who out there watches this, you'll know what I'm talking about. It reminds me of Mass Effect Andromeda. That
Yeah, I remember that.
you're talking to an NPC, and they're like, they look like they're constipated when in reality they're supposed to be like laughing. It's just, but again, it didn't take me out of it too much, but it is something I have noticed. Um,
So,
outside of that, go ahead. Sorry.
oh no, I was just gonna say so because I was looking at these notes here on here, but it says you can explore an open world. So you playing it, Lupus played it. This is supposed to be a huge world on top
It
of that.
is, the map itself is gigantic. The map itself is gigantic in terms of playable space in a video game. It's big. It's very big. Um, and the one thing that I did like about that very thing, the size of the map, is that traversing from one point of the map to the other, you get a real sense of time and space. And by that I mean you can go from it being midday, and then you start to see the sun go down. It'll be overcast and start to rain, and then the rain will slowly start to fade off. Where in other games, I'll use Skyrim as a real good example. Grand Theft Auto, bigger. Hard for me to say. I never played GTA, so I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I
But
don't
I
even
can but I can compare it to something like Skyrim, or even Breath of the Wild.
which those are big.
Comparable.
Those are pretty
Comparable.
big. Yeah.
Actually, I think this is probably bigger than Skyrim. But
Damn,
but
that's a pretty.
you,
That's pretty big.
it's big. Smaller. Okay, so
Oh,
Lupe says it is smaller than GTA. Okay.
okay.
But here's the thing: is in GTA, one of the biggest knocks that I had heard was that people like they enjoyed the fact that the map was that big, but there was so much open space with nothing like really there. It was like it's just hills and rocks until
And
you
you're
get
just
to
until you
you
get to
know
the city or whatever it is that you got
yeah
to get.
until you get to a landmark or
Yeah.
something. Where at least on this map, there's things between your origin and destination point that draw you in. There's ruins of castles that you can fly past, and there are things there that you can go loot around and find materials, or there's like little side quests that you stumble upon as you're traveling the map, which is one thing I absolutely love. That's part of the reason why to this day I still play Skyrim. It's what the
Well,
intention
so
is.
sorry, I'm looking at something else, and then
No, that's all right.
yeah, that's mountains. Which
But again, that was a big night. People said, well, there's all that open space. They could put something out there for you to just stumble across and find and have fun doing. Which again, in Hogwarts, there is a lot of that. There's also magical beasts that you can come across, some of which you can actually capture, and you can tame them and have your own like little zoo, or ones that you actually fight against. They had events.
you're talking about GTA that they had
Yeah,
events, right?
yeah. But did they have events? There was a Sasquatch out there and whatnot. Yeah, but see, that's the thing, is that like the events were events. They weren't something that was always in the game that you could just come across. That was stuff that Rockstar put in there, correct? Like they did it for short periods of time. Like everybody go out to Mount Chiliad, and they're going to have the UFO show up on this day, but it wasn't there all the time. As an example.
But that's one thing I never really got into GTA and was just kind of like, um, the getcha.
I
I
get
get,
he's saying yeah, I get what you mean.
but yeah, I never got into GTA. Like I tried playing it for a little bit, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't
Yeah.
get into that game.
I've always wanted to, because again, the style of the game appeals to me. I'm very big on open world sandbox games, especially ones that have a deep character creator. I love games like that. I absolutely love it. And
So
again,
that's
which
why this fits right into your wheel well, because it
it
is
does.
kind of,
Oh, it
yeah.
absolutely does. I just never gotten around to playing GTA. That being said, again, part of the reason why I still play Skyrim to this day, because it's just so much like part of the fun is creating that character. Um, but the big difference is that like in Skyrim, there's areas of the map where it's just always snowing, and then once you walk to a certain point, it's not snowing anymore. Where in Hogwarts Legacy, if it's raining,
It's
the
raining everywhere.
it's raining and then it slowly peters off. Yeah, dude, the map was so big, I never got. So Cyberpunk is another great example. That map is so big, and there was so much cool stuff to find. I love. I'm on my fourth playthrough of Cyberpunk right now. I love that one as well,
You
and
know,
regardless of the problems that it had.
I'm to be honest, I haven't played a game like this since, I don't know if you. Well, I'm sure you guys remember Fable.
Fable. Oh, the Fable games were amazing. I
I
wish they had more of
loved.
an open world. That would have made them that much
Oh yeah,
better.
those games were the ones that I loved playing, and I did pretty much everything in those games, and then I just stopped playing those games. I froze, huh?
I'm I'm still here. You froze.
I know. I don't know why all of a sudden my internet cut down. But anyways, um, yeah, the next time I actually played a huge open world game was what do you call it? Breath of the Wild, and I still haven't beaten that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I get bored after a while. That's why I think like COD really draws me in because I can just
Well,
go over there and just wreck people and have fun and laugh, and then, I'm done.
well, it and at the end of the day, it's all about what appeals to you.
Yeah,
My brain, even though yeah, you grew up being very much immersed in a lot of sci-fi and fantasy fiction and stuff like that. Um, for some reason my brain just held on to that stuff, and so Lord of the Rings and that whole fantasy thing for me was like I could throw myself into that and literally just walk around for hours and never get bored, where some people, as you said, after a while you're like, you know what, I need some action, and so something more frenetic like a first person shooter, COD or something like that is more to your
yeah.
liking. And that's part of the beauty of gaming in and of itself, is that there's something for everyone.
Which
um
I do want to play this game. I really do. Because I love Hogwarts, and like,
yeah,
I reference to I'm Gryffindor. Yeah, when I actually did the whole, what is it, Potter? What's the website? Pottersomething.com.
Pottermore,
Yeah, Pottermore,
I think that's
and
what
went
it's
on
called.
there, or whatever it is. But I'm came up as Gryffindor because I'm
Yeah,
awesome, and so and
I
I'm
I will.
actually, huh?
No, I was gonna say, I will say this much in regards to Hogwarts Legacy, kind of getting back on track. The only one of the other things that I was very disappointed with in that is the character creation portion of it. Again, like I say, I like to throw myself into it and be able to really fine tune a lot of those like facial features and things like that. This one was pretty limited. You had your choice of 10 or 15 different hairstyles, and you could change the complexion of your character, the color, skin tone, and stuff like that, but you couldn't change actual facial features. Like you they had maybe 5 or 6 different shaped faces, eyes different size, nose different size, but within that you could not make adjustments to the individual facial features, and so it wasn't as deep as I was hoping. But
So
that
you're
being said,
saying, that Tony Hawk Skater had a little bit more adjustments than this does? Because if you
oh,
remember
absolutely,
that,
absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, Cyberpunk has more,
Which,
you know
that's another game I got to.
to line it up with a game that's in the current generation. Cyberpunk's character creation kit is far more advanced than what you've got on Hogwarts. But you also have to keep in mind is that your character is intended to be a mid-teens person, and so they don't want you turning in, making they don't want you making
A
trolls.
40-year-old
Yeah, yeah,
teenager.
um, yeah,
Oh,
but
that just reminded me, a throwback to Channing Tatum. Uh, just watch 21 Jump Street.
oh god,
You look like you're 40 years old. Uh, all right.
yeah.
So,
But
well,
the only other thing I will throw out there is go into it. I mean, if you're interested in playing the game, and this is more to anybody watching than to Lupe. Obviously, he's playing it. Phil,
he's going
and
to start playing
yourself.
it. Yeah.
Anybody going into this game wanting to play it but apprehensive because of all of the controversy around it, just forget about that stuff. Just play the game because it's enjoyable to play, and you get to be a part of this world, the wizarding world of Harry Potter. I mean, J.K. Rowling's personal politics aside, um, don't let that stuff stop you
Yeah.
from having fun playing the game.
That's why I'm like, I ignore all that stuff because I'm literally going. I've been going through the books again
Yeah.
on audio, and I'm just like, whatever she believes and whatever, I don't
Well,
care.
she's
They were
I
great
mean,
books.
she's been very vocal in some of the things that she said, and her stances are very anti-LGBTQIA. I apologize, I don't know how many letters there are anymore. Um, she said some very vitriolic, very horrible things about people, and yeah, that still shouldn't stop you from enjoying something
No.
that for some of the people out there, this is part of their childhood.
Oh yeah.
Why should that stop you from enjoying that? You know,
Shouldn't.
it shouldn't.
And
And
plus,
in this case, don't
it's a
let it.
video game. It's just a
Yeah.
video game, guys. So, all right. Well, really quick. What does Lupe
Yeah,
say?
Lupe even if you worry about all of that, you're never going to be able to do it. Exactly.
Yeah,
Because
seriously.
you're going to become an insular, little person that's I mean, they're never going to leave the house because they're in fear of, coming in contact with something that might be controversial.
Yeah. But all right. So, yay or nay on Hogwarts Legacy, Dennis?
Yay.
All right. And
I
I'm
will
going to
give
say
I will
maybe.
give it a solid 8. I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10.
All right. All right. Here we go. 8 out of 10. Lupe, what do you think? Because you've been playing it. What do you got? And sorry, Phil, I don't mean to take this. I know you guys do this on your show, but I just wanted to know what everybody thought. But yay or nay? All right, cool. Yay for Dennis. I'm gonna say I'm gonna maybe. I'm probably gonna look at it over on the Switch just because again, that allows me to actually because I'm constantly in and out of the house and actually get onto it and be able to play it.
Sure. Oh, sure.
And then I can still when I get home put it on the dock, not dock, not docking, but
Yeah. Did you mute yourself again?
stupid.
You did.
Not dock, but dock. It was
Yeah.
when I did the dock.
Yes.
So I'm definitely gonna check it out. You guys can check it out on the PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox X and S and One on the Switch, and you could actually do a digital download. That's why I have all those little symbols there. Look at that. I'm all professional, Holmes.
I'm professional.
Damn, 9. I'm not a Potter guy. Never read the books.
So
But
so
you
there
are
you
a
go.
Potter guy.
Yeah, him not even being a fan of the Harry Potter, world prior to coming into the game gives it a 9. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I thought you would have read
That says
those.
a lot. That says a
Yeah.
lot.
Did Haley read those? That's the question. Or your son? But all right, so there we go. We gave a huge amount of information about Destiny 2. Didn't even scratch the surface of it. It was just a
Yeah.
portion of it, and I learned a lot from Dennis and Phil. Thank you guys for that. And then now we talked about Hogwarts Legacy. I'm definitely going to be probably getting it this week and start working on that. And so there we go. That is our video game review. I hope you learned something new.
Neither of his kids read Harry Potter.
Yeah, I
So
saw that. I was like, wow, that's
yeah. So
all right. Well,
but again,
real
I
quick.
think that's a pretty good endorsement.
Yeah, seriously. But here we go. I'm all fancy with this stuff. I'm trying to get better.
Dude, for the game over part, you should do that.
I didn't even think about that. Should have done that. Damn. We'll work on it for next time. So the other things we like to do, or we're going to be doing on this, is actually doing toy reviews. Which I don't know. Did I last week bring up? I did, huh?
I don't remember.
We talked.
I don't
No,
remember. We did, yeah. We talked about the NECA Ninja Turtle line, and then we kind of went from there.
So the newest one, which I didn't get to do. Wait, let's see what Lupe has to say. First ever for them was the ride. Oh wow!
When they went to Universal Osaka, Japan. Okay, so that was like their first exposure to Harry Potter. Okay,
Lupe, all I got to say is you definitely got to read the book, or if you don't have time to read the books, you can listen to the books, watch the movies. I actually I love the books a lot. The movies are pretty good, but not as good. And I wish I could have gone to Osaka. It's another thing that you're going to just now you can rub in that I have not gone to Universal Osaka, and it looks amazing.
Well, have you ever been to Japan ever?
No.
There you go. You should just
I don't
say
have a dad that loves me that much.
Take me.
I don't have a dad that loves me that much. Luca, do you want to adopt me? God, he gets to do all the cool things. So we talked about some toys last week, and this week, like I said, I was trying to get the slides together, but I didn't get a chance to actually do it because I wanted to talk about the new it's whatever. Whatever. So on Behind the Mask, you got me on World Cup, and on this show, you've been to Japan several times. Yeah, just rub it in. Just rub it in. But seeing how this last week, obviously was a Super Bowl. You know what? That probably was another thing that why the numbers were so low in the box office. It was Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah, yeah, it
I
was
really
Super
didn't
Bowl.
care, much about that. But I think I showed what they revealed with Hot Toys, right?
Was it Hot Toys or NECA?
No, I did. I did show NECA, but I wanted. Oh, that. So, if you guys were watching the Super Bowl, you may have seen the new trailer that came out, and also may have watched Distance Nerding. There you go, Phil. Little shout out to you. And you guys got shut down on YouTube, and I was like, oh my god, what happened? But they started showing the trailer for the new Flash movie. And if you guys haven't watched the new Flash trailer, I'm not going to put it on here because we'll probably get shut down. But at least for on YouTube, they'll probably shut us down until we're done with the trailer. But I was not on board with the whole Flash movie, and then I saw this recent trailer, and I just got on board. Dennis, have you seen the trailer?
I have. That's why I went, oh.
Yeah. So my Batman is back. The moment I heard his voice in the trailer, pants were gone. Were just wet. Not gone. They weren't gone yet. Not until I watched it a third time. That's when the pants were gone. It's like, oh my god, just everywhere. It's the greatest thing ever. Just so there you go. That's how excited I was. But Sideshow Hot Toys has put out like the greatest thing ever. It's oh my god. Like I'm about to yes, Lupe, it was an oh my. Like
oh my.
Exactly, George
Takai. Oh my.
After that, I was like, paper towels were or tissue was everywhere. I was just like, damn. But they're putting out a deluxe version of Batman. Look at this thing. This toy is freaking beautiful.
And it's the Joel Schumacher Batman too.
Yes. It's the 1989 Batman. My Batman. Michael Keaton. My Batman. This toy is freaking, look at that thing. 11 inches tall, 11.8 inches, almost 12 inches tall. Okay. And it comes with the, if you guys remember the scene at the end of Batman 1989 when he was fighting against the Joker, the gargoyle that he wrapped him around and threw him down the building. So comes with that, and it's posable. Look at that. You can even see his freaking wiener there. Look at that, dude. That's detail. And then of course it comes with different faces and stuff like that you can add in there, and it shows it's the beat up one.
Dude, that's crazy.
Dude, look
that's
at how.
fun. But see, this is what I was talking about last week. Like with the Hot Toys versus the NECA, like Hot Toys and Diamond Select, they've just got it,
Dude, it's beautiful. It's freaking beautiful.
And I love the nod to the fact that the original Batman suit was so stiff he couldn't actually turn his head and look up. He had to turn his whole body,
Yep.
You can see it in the way that the figure is posed, that his head doesn't move.
The posability, in this picture right here, where he's trying to aim, and it's so, dude, this is a freaking amazing. And then there's other little things that I don't know if that comes with it, but then look at that, man.
See, look, you can see right there. You can tell, from the movie where he's because his arms don't come all the way up, and he can't turn his head. Dude, that's awesome, though. I mean, but again, this is exactly what this is what I was saying. I mean, Hot Toys and Diamond Select for me, that's the way to go.
Well, when you're looking for a fully posable like this, where this is like I said, it's 11.8 inches,
Yeah.
so it's a good size figure.
Yeah,
So
it's decent.
obviously,
Yeah,
you're
that's
going to be able to
decent.
get more detail, whereas, oh, excuse me, NECA toys. Damn, I don't have my Marty in here. It's only about, I think it's only about 9 inches, 9 to 8 inches. Those are even, they have quite a bit of detail in them also, but those are the Back to the Future ones. But look at that, interchangeable cows, refined. Oh, that looks like, that almost looks like Val Kilmer's lips.
The one on the left there looks almost like Val Kilmer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now the one to the right. But see, okay, so this right here, the separate rolling eyeballs. This is something that I have not seen on Hot Toys until recently. Um, you can actually like the eyes themselves in the head. You can move them so you get so much more articulation, so much more detail out of these figures when you're posing them. And oh my god!
Look at this
The only
stuff,
thing I
dude.
the only thing I wonder is like, do you have to like get like a little like toothpick and you stick it in the eye and move it? Or
I don't know, man, but dude, these toys, I mean, it looks freaking amazing. So this is what got me really excited, and then not just this, but the trailer for the new Flash movie came out. I saw that again, messed my pants. Then I saw this come up on my Instagram, messed my pants again, and I was like, oh my god, my Batman. I need to get this toy. And like Dennis said, the articulation on this thing is freaking amazing. And then I go on this thing and it's like flexible payment options. Why? Why is it going to cost? What's going to cost me so much? Yeah. So for the great low price of $345, you guys can get the deluxe Batman.
that's what puts it away from me.
You had to think about that one, huh? You're like,
Yeah, that's what puts it away from me.
yeah.
Because for that much money, I could play a lot of paintball. I could play a lot of video games.
Yeah. But it looks freaking amazing. And this is the deluxe edition. This is the one that's going to come with the gargoyle that can spin around 360. Comes with all the different um, features, and then there's a collector's edition, which still looks freaking amazing. That's the one that has it's still like interchangeable face, cowl, hands, but it doesn't come with the what do you call it? I like this pose. That's freaking awesome.
That's so cool. And all the little gadgets that it comes with too. That's yet one more thing that I really like about Hot Toys. They have so many little accessories to their figures that are just so cool.
But now
So
here's
cool.
the thing. So we see the figure. This is the collector's edition. This is just him.
Yeah.
Nothing, no accessories other than his little gadgets, interchangeable hands, interchangeable cowl. $279.
Yeah. That's still spicy for me.
Yeah.
That's still spicy
So
for me.
should I pay the extra? What is that, like $50, $60, 70?
For the extra money, you get all the little gadgets and
Oh no,
the gargoyle.
you get the gargoyle. That's
Oh,
what you
that's
get.
it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that gargoyle better be made out of freaking gold.
Yeah. No
And
kidding.
all because this is all that it adds right there. You're looking at exactly this. Let me bring that up really quick so you guys can see. So yes, they give you see the difference between the iPhone 14 and Batman. It's a pretty big figure. I give
Yeah.
them that. But I'm going to pay $345 so I can get the gargoyle. I'm a collector. obviously, as you guys can see, I'm a collector. And this is just a small portion of my collection. I have. Oh wait. What?
What?
So.
What happened?
Oh, you sent a message to who are you talking
To
to?
Phil. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know why it showed up in the chat like that.
I don't know, but
I
no
was
Lupe.
replying to his comment.
Oh, I was like, I was lost. But so no Lupe, it does not come with the shark repellent.
It should.
It should for that price.
Now I feel very ripped off for that
Yeah.
much. It needs the shark repellent.
You know, if the deluxe version for $345 came with the gargoyle, came with that whole panel of, you know, computer screens, came with shark repellent, I would have been in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bat lame, exactly. Bat lame.
Yep.
I
Unfortunately,
agree.
it's beautiful. It is an amazing toy, and I wish I could afford these toys. And I would not tell like Hot or a Sideshow that they're putting out a bad product. By no means would I ever say that because it's an amazing product. I just can't afford it.
Yeah.
And if you guys are collectors out there and want to get it, go for it, man. Tell me what you guys think, and even if you want to show a video of the unboxing and send it over to us, and we'll put it up on here. Hell yeah, I'll do it in a heartbeat. But yeah, I should show my collection of like all my Lego sets and all that other stuff. I'm sure Phil has a huge, huh?
I said right.
Yeah, I mean Phil has a huge collection too because he does on Thursday nights he does the build.
I know. I watched the episode that you were on.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so
I was commenting and making all kinds of comments about you.
I remember, but yes, so he's got a lot of Legos. I got a lot of Legos too. I should show those things off. I probably should bring a couple in here, but so that is our toy review for right now. So that was something that just came out recently. I know that Sideshow I also saw that had just put out Ant-Man and Wasp. They just put out some figures for them, which those look amazing too. But again, it's just hard for me to swallow the price. And I was over actually at Walmart today, and I was looking at all the collectible toys and seeing if they have anything cool to bring onto the show. But there was nothing good. I was like,
not so much.
Nah. Right now, it seems like it's kind of stagnant. Other than that, for $345, it's shame.
So that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. So
I have had my eye, as I said last week. I'm still on the search for the Bad Batch Black Series. So I need to get the rest of those. But I've had my eye on the McFarlane Warhammer 40K. Though they are really cool. I've kind of been getting into Warhammer 40K, like not playing the game or anything like that, but just like watching videos about it and learning about all the lore and stuff like that.
Which it's really cool. Like the lore is really cool, and the whole everything about it is seriously cool. But I can't find myself to spend the money to get into the game.
Well, not the tabletop. There are a couple of video games that are pretty good. Oh. They came out with one called Martyr, Warhammer 40K Inquisition Martyr, and it's think Diablo in the Warhammer universe. That's basically how it is. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I play that a lot.
I have to look that up, try that out. But like the tabletop?
No way. No way. Have you seen how much money those guys spend on those miniatures? Oh my god.
Dude, didn't we bring this up last time?
No.
No?
I think you and I might have talked about stuff like that before, but not on the show.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how much money is spent on just one set, because it's not just, you're not buying like a whole game, you're buying a little platoon, and that platoon
it's literally a squad of like either Space Marines or depending on what faction you want to play. And it's literally like it's 6 or 7 figures, it's like
Fire
this
squad.
Fire team.
And it's $40.
Yeah.
And then you got
And they're not painted. They're
Yeah.
not painted. They're not,
Yeah.
in some cases, they're not put together. Yeah.
So I couldn't do it. But if anybody's out there watching and you guys like it, I'm again, nothing that I say is to put anybody down.
All the power to you if you're playing, if you play Warhammer tabletop, all the power to you, because I couldn't do it.
If you guys have like extra figures and you guys want to teach me how to play, and I'll go out to your game and I'll film it and I'll play, but I already got enough expensive things that I do. So to add one more thing, I think I would go broken.
Yeah.
So, but I saw those Warhammer figures also, and I was like, dude, those are really cool.
Oh, man, they just look super cool.
There's a rumor out there that Superman will be starring in a Warhammer
Warhammer movie or show.
Movie. Yeah.
He wants to. He plays because the tabletop originally started in the UK, and obviously him being English, it's not a shock that he knows anything about it.
Yeah. But there is a video, and let's see if I can bring it up. Oh, he was talking about it. He was like super stoked about it. And it's like,
I don't blame him. Like I say, that whole world and the lore and everything behind it, it's super, super involved, and it's really cool. It's very dark. I mean, it's very grim dark,
I just found the video. So let's share this. Henry Cavill. How cool would that be to see Superman walk into your office?
Right? Games Workshop just sitting around. It's like a normal day for them, and here comes Superman, aka Sherlock Holmes.
And this dude, look at him. He's like really into it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I would love to play there.
He's looking at the Eldar.
The place is amazing. I want to go there. Dude, just seeing all this, I want to play now.
Oh man, those Titans and stuff. See, look right there.
There it is.
Warhammer.
Oh my gosh, I gotta show this now, because this is him talking about. I found another one. It came up right away, and it's him literally talking about how he paints his
little Warhammer figurines. Yeah.
That took me a while to kind of confess to openly and publicly.
Dare I say it? I know exactly what you mean.
Nobody wants to admit it.
Undercoat spray paint that just lurks in the back of the cupboard.
Yeah, I was like, "What's this?"
Oh, look at that! He's got a
underarm deodorant. You know it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I paint cow.
Custody. Yeah.
Certainly not Warhammer. No, that's a great answer. It's hard to top it, isn't it?
It really is. I love it, and I've that's the stuff I've done in. As far as hobby stuff, the stuff which my escapism is concerned, all the reading I do outside of work is normally based around that or fantasy authors. So yeah, and I've been involved in the Warhammer world for
40,000 years.
40,000 years. Oh, well, longer, depending how you look at it. But since I was probably 10.
Nice.
Yeah. So a long
time.
Yeah.
This is proof, guys.
Tell me that actually brings back sense memories.
Totally.
Some of the coolest, handsomest people on the face of the planet are nerds.
Yes.
Oh, there's my waifu right there. I have like the biggest crush on her. She's just
Felicia Day.
Felicia Day. Just something about her. I really like her.
I'd like to, you know what? I'd like to just hang
She's
out with
so
her because she seems really
wholesome.
cool.
Yeah, she's just so wholesome.
Yeah, I'm sure she's not wholesome, but she'd be
No,
really
she
cool
really
to
is
hang out with.
actually.
Oh,
She's
really?
very wholesome. Yeah, she's
But
very.
there you go, guys. There's proof that if you guys come out of your basements and see the light, there are people
World
that
will
are,
accept you.
yeah, they will accept you. They accepted Superman. They will accept you.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. We have gone for about an hour and a half. This is a great second episode. We had a lot of fun with everybody that's here. There's 5 people that are watching us, and only 2 have talked. Come on, guys. At least just say hi.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just in the comments, hi. That, so we know who's watching. It's if you guys notice how we talk to Phil and we talk to Lupe, that's how we want to talk to everybody. We would love to have everybody in here and talking and doing this, because that's what this particular episode, or not this episode, but this particular show is going to be. It's going to be more of just a free form open. We are going to have our segments, and of course those will go up individually on our YouTube channel, but we also want to get to know more nerds, more geeks, more of you guys out there that are like us. I know you guys can't all look this good, but we still love you and we'll accept you however you look. I know I'm full of myself, but what do you expect? MPs lead the way. There you go, Phil. Put a little.
I can't speak to them.
No, but I just want to just rile Phil up there. Just
I gotcha.
Poke. But all right, guys. Well, I think we're going to call it a night. It's been great. It's actually been a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun. This is a good one.
I know this was, and again, we got to see that a beautiful person actually is a nerd, a geek.
Right.
He's one of us. So if you guys ever see Henry, you could probably just walk him and be all, "Hey, Henry, what's going on, dude?" And actually don't. He might actually be all like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's a really nice guy. So I would actually, dude, how amazing would that be to get him on the show? Or Felicia Day.
We'd probably have a better chance of getting her than we would Henry Cavill.
That's true. Let's try to get Felicia Day on the show. If anybody knows Felicia, throw her our way and we'll talk to her. We'd love to talk to her.
I follow her on Instagram. I'll just send her a message.
Send a message. Just send it. There you go. We're going to send a message. Let's see what happens. If she's willing to come on the show and talk to us, and that would be like the greatest thing ever.
Dude, could you imagine something like that? That would be up there with us with our previous episode of Behind the Mask getting Rich Telford on there.
That was a great episode. But
yeah, even though the whole time we were like, "Oh, you're so cool."
Dude, it bothered me the next day. I was like, I can't believe I was that just dumbfounded, couldn't say anything. So yeah, not a good.
He didn't seem to be all that bothered. I sent him a message like, "Thank you so much," and he was like, "Hey, you guys did fine."
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, just let me know next time you want me to come on." I was like, "Sweet, good to go, Holmes. We know Rich.
Exactly.
We're best friends now." But right now, you know what? I don't have any banners made just yet. Oh, I do have a couple. I got this one right here. So, to kind of start moving us out of this, you can find us on IG at the Geek Saga. So, like I said before at the beginning of the show, this show falls under the Geek Saga umbrella. So that's the parent podcast. And then we got our little branches that branch down, and this is one of them. And this is, again, just strictly talking about stuff that is going on this week. And we'll be back next Wednesday with more stuff that's going on for the week and the weekend coming up. And we're going to keep doing that and try to get, obviously, try to get guests on this show and stuff like that too. And just have fun with it, because we just want to have fun with it. That's it. Girls just want to have fun. No. No? All right. No. Sorry, guys. A moment of weakness. And of course, and if you're watching this right now, you're probably watching this on YouTube, which it is at the Geek Saga 77, because again, the greatest year ever, 1977. You can find us there to watch the show, watch any other videos that we may post up. There are going to be some shorts. I've got a couple shorts right now that are I got to just finish editing, but have to do with a couple of fellow soldiers explaining Star Wars and the Predator in 90 seconds.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's funny to hear. It really is. So I got to finish that up, and all that content will be on YouTube. Of course, you could also follow us on Twitch. You'll see us there on Twitch, which is the Geek Saga, and we will be live at 7:00 every Wednesday. And also on Facebook, you can find us there, which is the Geek Saga. Obviously, again, it's all the Geek Saga. The Geek Saga. You type in the Geek Saga, you will find us and catch us on our parent company. As far as the Geek Saga actual show, which is we're now part of the Comic-Con Radio family. You can find us on comicconradio.com and go on to the podcast, and you will find us on there with our bio and everything. And the first 3 episodes that we have up, we're going to be doing more, obviously. And there again, we will be talking about movies, comic books, but probably more of the past stuff, maybe a little bit about new stuff coming up. And also we will be getting guests on that show for sure. So that place we will be getting guests. That's because Comic-Con is gracious and will give us the guests. We don't have to do too much work for that. This show is a whole different story. We're going to have to beg, borrow, and steal whatever guests we can find. So,
Right.
Phil, if you're still on and you're listening, we want to set it up and we want to get you on the show. So for sure, we got to get you on here. Maybe even James. And that's Distance Nerding. They're on the Comic-Con Radio family too. So check them all out. Check us out. You will be able to hear this on Spotify, all the other platforms that we use for our podcast. You'll be able to listen to us on. So you can hear the audio. So I hope we described everything pretty good, because this is more visual on this one.
Yeah.
I think we did. I think we, for the Batman thing, I didn't really describe too much, but you guys can find that yourselves. Do some work. So
That's
anyway,
right.
But that's pretty much it, man. Dennis, thank you for being here with me.
No, of course. Are you kidding me? This has been fun.
And yeah, I know I sound pretty mellow right now. I didn't have any energy drink, even though, like I said, W is our one of our sponsors. Normally on this show now, I'm back to drinking my Ghost, so I bounce between the two, but that gives me a little bit more energy. And also, I haven't eaten, so I need to eat. But yes, catch us on those places. Send us messages. We will answer. We will read everything that comes through. We'll try to get people on here. We're going to try to get out to comic book stores and do reviews of the comic book stores. We're going to try to get out to cons. So you'll start to see this face and probably that face at cons or my other partner. And we'll be getting reviews and interviews and check out costumes and all that other stuff. There's a lot of things that we want to do for the Geek Saga. It obviously all takes time, and I got to have time to do that stuff. So there will be more content. So with that, it's been wonderful. Thank you. Come back next week, please. We got 5. Let's grow this. Let's
Grow it.
Go big.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say if you want to support, actually, did I put it up yet?
I don't know.
I have not set up our buy us a pizza slice. That was something we had talked about. We're going to be doing buy us a pizza slice. You buy us a slice of pizza, it'll support the show. It'll be a great way to do that. So as soon as I get that up, you'll probably see it in our link tree if you're following us on Instagram. And if you want to see me and Dennis talking about paintball and sounding a little bit more angrier, go to Behind the Mask, and that's all Behind the Mask Media, and it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Gmail, all that stuff. You can find us all there. And we're on Mondays at 7:00. So we like that 7:00 hour. So, and that's more just an hour. And we're talking all paintball all the time. And if you guys want to see us in person, come out to Jungle Island this weekend. We will be there. You'll be able to see us there and talk to us. Whether it's about this show,
Saturday, February 18th.
Yeah, we'll be out there
for anybody
playing.
who's not watching right now.
Yeah, but we'll be out there playing and you'll be able to talk to us out there about whether you want to talk about paintball or you want to talk about geek stuff. We will by all means talk to you about that. So
Yeah.
With that, gentlemen, maybe ladies that are in here watching, doubt it, but just maybe. That's it for us. I still got to come up with a great ending phrase. I don't know, what to say, but we're gonna end it with our funky intro that we had, and it's
I
gonna be
love
our
it.
funky outro. We can get a little bit of little funk in here. So with that, I guess you know what? Hey, for this show, it's game over.